Welcome back to Tarot by the Bay. I'm David. Okay, this is going to be a pair of readings on Donald Trump and antics that he was up to over the weekend. One of them is going to deal with Trump and his posting of a picture of Joe Biden bound up and in the back of a pickup truck. I haven't even looked at the article. I've seen the picture. I don't need to look at anything else to cloud my judgment, shall I say, on that one. And the second thing I want to read on is that Trump apparently went after the judge's daughter another few times, Judge Merchan's daughter another few times over the weekend, to the point where the judge expanded his gag order as per the request of Alvin Bragg to clarify it, and he expanded it to include family members of the court and family members of the attorneys. They're basically saying there's no reason for you to be going after these people. Can't believe I have to say this in a gag order. So Trump posts pictures of Biden being bound and gagged and instead gets himself bound and gagged. There's an Eight of Swords moment if you ever wanted one. Now, I was saying I have opinions on the bound and gag thing. There's a law that you cannot make threats against the President of the United States. You do something like that, you're going to get a visit from the Secret Service. That doesn't matter if the president is Joe Biden or Donald Trump. They treat it the same way. And when I saw the picture of Joe Biden being tied up and gagged, all I could think of was, had that been anybody else, the Secret Service would be visiting the poster of that picture to have a discussion with them, and probably have that taken down and never do it again. But since it's Donald Trump, a former president, and he's never held accountable for anything, you know nothing's going to happen. But we can throw on it just to see what's going on with that. So we'll read on the Biden thing. Andrew Weissman said, well, you know, if you can prove that he was intending to cause harm to Biden, you could get some charges. They're not going to charge him. Can't see it happening. And then we'll go after Judge Merchan's gag order and how that's going to impact the man who just will not stop verbally attacking people. We're 1 week past the lunar eclipse. That eclipse last week, I don't know if it was the eclipse itself, but man, I was low energy last week. Last week was a grind to get through it. I was out today and driving around. It was beautiful weather in the Bay Area. I was driving in my little sports car convertible and catching up some sun. It was lovely, and I'm in very high spirits right now. I hope the solar eclipse doesn't wipe me out like the lunar one did. Anyways, come on down. Donald Trump, energy around you're posting a picture of a bound and gagged Joe Biden. What are you thinking? What's going to happen with out of this? Entertainment purposes only. 3 of Cups. Well, Trump didn't do it. Somebody else put that picture together. But I assure you, Trump thought it was great, and Trump supporters thought it was fantastic. Whoever did it's the toast of the town. Crossed by the Sun card and the nostalgia. We might actually find out who was responsible for that picture. Again, I haven't looked to see what any of the story here, but 3 of Cups is a celebration. Now, again, for the MAGA folks, the Trumpers, they're going to love anything that takes Biden down to peg. That's, you know, they want 2016 again because they want the 50s back, whether it's the 1950s, 1850s, 1750s, 1650s, or whatever century in the 50s that they want back. You know, back to good old Trump, where he could just do anything he wanted and he was celebrated by his base. And Donald Trump showed us, I guess that's what the Sun card is. Donald Trump is just showing us who he is. Every day, not that we didn't know who he was before, but every day he shows us more and more of who he is. He's just this impetuous little child who can't control his emotions. 3 of Cups, he doesn't drink, allegedly, but he apparently does other things that are abusive. So it could be that his, for entertainment purposes only, his vices are catching up to him. Let's put it that way. In the past, I got the Seven of Swords. Trump is so used to getting away with everything. I would be amazed if this Three of Cups is us celebrating that Trump is held accountable, because he's never been held accountable before. I'm not even going to read it that way because my logical brain can't even begin to process it in this way. In the past, Donald Trump gets away with this kind of stuff all the time. But maybe not this time. Maybe not this time. Tower. He might have got, this might have actually got him a talking to. His lawyers might have got a talking to by the White House counsel and the Secret Service. This might have actually happened. We probably won't hear about it. But Sun card and the Tower? I might have to rethink my life here. Trump might actually be held accountable for this. This could also, and I'm also going to look at this. I wonder if this is also talking about the health reading after the solar eclipse. Oh. I'm going to back it up. I'm going to think the Secret Service, the White House lawyers, and somebody else had a talk with Trump and his lawyers and let him know what's what. You've gotten away with all sorts of stuff in the past. This is a bridge too far. Even a former president doesn't get to threaten the president. If you would like to find out what the inside of a prison cell looks like, you just keep doing what you're doing. We don't want to set a precedent of taking the president and putting him in prison. But we can do that if we want to. I still don't think they'd put him in prison. They would confine him. Home confinement. But they might take away his phone so he can't post up on social media. Ooh, wow, The lesson to be learned is the devil. Donald Trump may have finally gone too far. As hard as that is to believe. And I'm telling you, I told you right at the beginning of the reading, there's no way I'm reading it this way. But here I am reading it this way. And it's one of those things. Sorry, my chair is squeaky. It's one of those things that you get so used to him getting away with everything that you don't think he'll ever be held accountable for anything. You just get in that mindset. And I wasn't even going to read it this way. It's like, like he'll ever be held accountable. He probably got a talking to. This might be interesting. And I'm not going in this as a bias. Oh, you're just a Trump hater. You want him to get talked to. Hey, look, I didn't start this way. I started this way. I am a Trump hater. Well, Trump hater is a real strong term. Let's put it this way. I don't want to live in an authoritarian government. I really dislike people who lie a lot. I hate narcissists that make other people's life really difficult because they haven't dealt with their stuff. I hate people who cheat and are unfair to other people. I have real strong feelings about that. So if you think I hate Trump, those are the things that I really hate. And if he embodies those things, then I really don't like his behavior. I don't hate the person. I hate his behaviors. And I hate how he brings out the worst in people. That's what I really, really don't like. So let's be clear. If you celebrate people that lie, cheat, steal, and bring out the worst in people, yeah, we don't have anything in common. You can just F all the way off, okay? Thank you. Bye. I didn't even want to go that way with this reading, but that's what it looks like. It looks like he got a talking to, and now it's up to Trump to not do it again. Exercise an iota of self-control. I have a hard time believing that they're going to levy a fine on him. They might have threatened him with some type of financial penalty for that. whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, that's right. I saw this in the article. The article that I'll link to this. I don't claim to be brilliant. There is an argument that him posting this up is in violation of his parole. You're not allowed to do stuff like that, both with attacking the judge's daughter, but more attacking the president of the United States with that picture. That's, I believe it's a felony, but that's in violation of your parole. You do stuff like this, you can have your parole revoked. And then we're going to have to take you in and put you behind bars. Now, this behind bars is incarceration. Incarceration doesn't mean in the county jail. Incarceration could be house arrest. Your choice. You did this. Do you want house arrest or not? We can revoke your bond and bring you to the courts if you keep acting like a child, an immature, spoiled child. That's where we're going with this. Okay, I like that better. That seems to fit the data. Now, it's interesting. I get that last card, the Knight of Coins. It's like, oh, Christ, how am I going to fit that thing in there? And then it's like, okay, that's right. I did read something in the article about bail. And now, yeah. You can take your bail bond away. I wonder which one they would take away. That'd be expensive. You have to... Oh, God, can you imagine Trump getting his bail revoked and he's going to be under house arrest? Oh, he'll blow it. Yeah, that'll blow a brain cell on him or a blood vessel in his brain. They take away his social media account so he can't... no, they would. I don't think they would do that. He's just not allowed to talk about the president. All right. Will Trump be able to exercise an iota of self-control and not post more stuff on Biden about stuff like that? How about we look into the energy around that? This is not asking a whole lot out of somebody. You know, remember once upon a time when political candidates of different parties didn't post pictures of kidnapping of their opponents? Yeah, I remember that too. It wasn't so long ago. Page of Pentacles. Messaging about money and privileges and freedom and things along those lines, and lots of money. How will this impact Donald Trump? He's going to look at the financial pictures of things. He might actually think about the consequences of his actions going forward. If not him, he will have people that will want him to run his posts past some type of screener before he does that to save him. A little money up front may save him a lot of money in the tail end of things. Queen of Cups, he'll go quiet for a while on this. You know, message received. I'll be a good boy for a while. Let's see what happens. Temperance, and then, you know, when nobody's looking, he's going to dip his foot in the water and he's going to post some stuff up because he's going to want to find out where the line is. Donald Trump is forever trying to find out where the line is. How close can I get to the line before I get in trouble? You know, if I just had a picture of Biden tied up, would that cross the line? If I had a picture of Biden with his mouth gagged, would that cross the line? If I had Biden in the back of a truck, would that cross the line? You know, he'll do stuff like that. Maybe instead of Joe Biden, he does it for, I don't know, Hunter Biden. You know, Hunter Biden's not a political figure. Maybe he'll do that instead, you know. I don't think he'd go after Jill Biden. Could go after Jill Biden. The High Priestess. He really needs an attorney to tell him what to do and explain to him the consequences of his choices. With these two cards here, I do get concerned about his emotional and mental health. Cups are about emotions and the degradation of his emotional health. High Priestess is about wisdom and making good choices, his mental health. Coins are about health. and Queen of Cups, trying to keep your emotions in check. There might be some mental health issues contributing to this. He really needs to be listening to people who are wiser than he is, because he's not making good life choices right now. Look at this major arcana all over the top of this. Judgment. If he keeps going down this path, the government will do what they need to do to get the message across. Disappointment, sorrow. At best, Trump will back off from this, upset that he can't be as candid and vulgar as he would like to be. At worst, he may cross the line a bit that gets him fined or sanctioned somehow. Again, this could even be, if you violate this, we're going to put you in, this could be house arrest too, because this is the grandfather with the kids and the grandkids and the pets. So it's like the Godfather in his villa, as it were. And for those folks that had watched the Godfather movie, the compounds were like a fortress for the 5 families in there. And when there was the war between the 5 families, the 5 mobster families, the heads of the families, basically went to their compounds and they were in their little fortresses. So in some ways they were prisoners of their own making because of the war. It wasn't safe to go outside. And that might happen to Trump. If he continues to go down this route, I don't think he will, but if he does, he might find himself losing bail and being under house arrest. That's interesting. I did not expect that result out of this reading. All right. Speaking of trying to show an iota of self-control and stay out of house arrest, we also have the whole Donald Trump going after the judge's daughter, to the point where the judge expanded the gag order. So let's take a look at this gag order expansion and how Donald Trump is impacted by it, or with the general vibe of the gag order. If you give it from Donald Trump's perspective, that's great. Otherwise, I'll just take the general energy around it, and I'll try and sort out what the cards mean when it happens. General energy around this new, upgraded, better defined gag order in the New York criminal trial involving Donald Trump, such to the point that he cannot attack family members of the lawyers and the judge. Always looking for the boundaries, always trying to get away with stuff. Gag order had to be put in place because somebody just cannot behave themselves. They have to commit crimes. It's just what they do. So the government has to come in and say that, all right, new gag order, you can't go after family members here. Family members are now out of bounds. Keep your arguments inside the courtroom about the case, not about innocent people, not the jurers, not the witnesses, the families of all these people. They are now off limits. Underneath it all is the 9 of coins. This could be, going after, I don't know what he's been saying about the judge's daughter. I think the one quick thing I saw, I really haven't researched it out. He was claiming that the judge's daughter put up a picture of Trump behind bars, saying, if they quote unquote get Trump, they can make money, something along those lines, which is really funny because that's exactly the mindset Donald Trump has, but he accuses other people of having it. So he's going after the judge's daughter. I think this might represent the judge's daughter, saying that she's trying to fundraise off of his court case, which is why he has a perfectly good right to go after her. I don't think that argument is going to fly. Here's the judge. I told you that this judge reminds me of Jack Smith. He is a no-nonsense, no BS judge. And he issues orders quickly. And they are very well defined. And he doesn't put up with shenanigans or nonsense. I like him. I like him for this case. Because he will prevent this case from becoming a media circus, which other judges have allowed to happen. Current situation is the Nine of Wands. Trump may be running out of chances here for ways to create disturbances in this court case. Trying to try this case in the court of public opinion. He's trying to say the judge is corrupt because his daughter posted a picture of Trump behind bars and she's trying to raise money off of it. Just another case of Trump being under attack by the unfair judicial system. It's getting to be kind of a tired mantra, and you're really reaching for it. I do think, though, that this gag order is going to make a big difference, because as much as Donald Trump might try to split hairs with things, like how do I get around this this gag order, he doesn't have much time, and it's pretty well defined. And at this point, expect all of Trump's attacks to go after the crooked judge and the crooked DA, because that's about all that he's got left to go after. Lesson to be learned: heartbreak, betrayal. Do not go after the judge's family members. This is the guy overseeing your case. Maybe he's trying to make the argument and appeal that the judge was unfair because he went after the family members. But, at some point, the law of you ran your mouth and you found out needs to kick in too, right? You insulted the cop and said bad things about his family. He's only human. You expected that he was going to pull you behind the woodshed over there and give you a little taste of your own medicine with the back of his billy club? No, that's not a great example, but this is, some guy mouthing off to a bouncer or something like that. And when nobody's looking, the bouncer just beats the snot out of him for 10 seconds. And then you go, oh, he wasn't supposed to do that. Well, what did you think was going to happen? If you've been, throwing rocks at a dog behind a fence, and then, you put your hand in the fence and the dog bites it, you had that coming. What did you think was going to happen, you dummy? Outcome. Knight of Wands, progressions. I think that we're going to hear the last of Donald Trump's shenanigans with the judge's daughter and these other things. I don't see a path forward for him on this one. And if he tries to figure out a path forward, he has to be very careful, because the way that this has been said, and he only has a couple of weeks before the trial starts anyways. So, again, he has a hard time controlling his impulses. And especially because he really does seem to be going down through a downward spiral mentally and emotionally as all these cases and the stressors of them mount up and put pressure on him. It causes him to lash out because he's feeling emasculated. He's feeling powerless and emasculated, so he has to find somebody to punch down on. Real quick. Truth Social released their financials today. They took in like $4 million of revenue, and they lost like $50 million. And they spent 50 and they took in 4. Not great numbers when you're losing $50 million or so, $45 to $50 million for Truth Social. I don't know if that was for the quarter, for the year. I think it was the year. Anyways, the stock price opened at $61 a share. It was as high as 76. And it's now down below 50. So it lost about $11 a share or so today as those financials came out. And that's, those are going to be the folks that get the alerts from, Seeking Alpha and Morgan Stanley and those other brokerage type houses or investment advice columns. They're going to see that and go, oh my God, you guys need to sell this. So they're going to start seeing selling. The price might tank again tomorrow as the average investor also tries to get out. I expect that you will see some bounces in there, because what might happen is that short sellers start coming in and taking short positions. It's hard to explain it. Normally you buy a stock, you want to buy it low and sell it high. You want to get in when the stock's $20 a share and sell it at $40 a share, so you make $20 profit. Double your money. A short seller comes in at $40 a share, and that's the price they quote unquote sell at. Now they're going to buy the shares at a later date. Hopefully in the future, the share price goes down to $20, and then they buy at $20, and they've netted themselves that $20 per share, doubling their money. So long buyers buy low and sell high. Short buyers sell high first and then buy later and want to buy low. When short sellers come in, it actually causes the stock price to go up because they cause it to go down because they are selling shares at that. So that puts downward pressure on it. And then they have to buy later. Anyway, it's confusing. I get confused. It's like Calvin and Hobbes in backwards day. Oh. How is Donald Trump reacting to that $10 a share drop? It basically cost him like $1 billion because of all the shares that he owns. How is Donald Trump reacting to that sudden drop in the stock price today? Oh, he's got so many things he needs to fight. I'm sure he's not happy about it, and he's going to want his board to go out there and fight to keep that share price up, because he needs that money to bail him out of all the problems that he's in. Oh, Knight of Cups. This is going to be a problem. That's a real problem. What am I saying? The Knight of Cups on a low energy. This is about going forward with the message of friendship. And I don't think he's saying, come on, guys, fight for this company. We grew this company together and we can do well. This is fight for the company. Tell them whatever you need to tell them. This is the false friend. So this is like the shady salesman. Tell them what you need to comment. Tell them what you need to tell them to keep the share price up. Make up stuff if you need to. This is the illusion card. If this was, again, a legit new company that was fighting for its survival, this would be a PR campaign reminding people of the awesome fundamentals of this company. This current company, though, the DJT on the NASDAQ, their fundamentals don't exist. They are a money hemorrhaging company. There's no value here. The company is what they refer to as a meme stock. The stock price doesn't make sense for the value of the company. I was going to say, this has all the hallmarks of a pump and dump. Pump and dump is, pump up the reputation of the company, and when you get a chance, dump the shares so you make a bunch of money. This is what happened a lot in crypto. A lot of people, if you can dump at the top, you make a lot of money. You create money. Everybody else loses their shirts. In the past, Queen of Wands. I'm going to say this is the SPAC coming in and buying out the company. The process of getting Truth Social out on the market and getting bought out. And, for a couple of days, things are looking pretty sunny. It went from like $50 a share to $76 a share or something along those lines. It's now below 50. Look at all these wands, all this fire energy here. Current situation is Page of Wands. Yeah, they have to get out and remind people about the value of this company. I'm a little troubled about the pyramids there because they might be going outside the United States trying to get people to pump up shares on this company. Maybe the Saudis or folks in Egypt or something in the Middle East might want to do that because that's a way to support Donald Trump by buying up those shares and keeping the price artificially high. When you're a trillionaire, what's $100 million between friends, I suppose. All these wands. How is Trump feeling about this? He wants these folks to fight. Get out there, spread the message. Whatever you need to say it. Get the message out there. But there's a nervousness there because, he's got to wait months before he can exercise. Now, the board can let him sell sooner. And the board is loaded with like Donald Trump Jr. and all these and I forget who's on the board, but it's a who's who of Trump sycophants and family members. So the board absolutely will vote to let Donald Trump sell early. But the thing is, if they let Donald Trump sell early, they come away with nothing. The minute Donald Trump sells his shares in this company is going to tank. It will be worthless overnight. The lesson to be learned is the moon card, the chaos, the secrets that's going on behind there. This is, not being honest and forthright with the company and trying to convince people to, buy into this black box investment. The Trumpers, the MAGA people might continue holding on to support Trump, but again, they're not necessarily the most wealthy people, and they can't really afford to lose the money. These are the ones that really need to cash out and buy a new MAGA hat and an American flag for their truck or something like that, and hopefully have enough money left over, profit, that they can fill it up with gas or something along those lines, and buy a hot dog. In one of those new God Bless the USA Bibles. Oh, this also screams insider trading to me. If Trump were trying to dump a bunch of his shares onto the market, that could also get into market manipulation. He's in really dangerous territory right now. Outcome is the Nine of Swords. He does not like. He's already stressing out over money, and losing $1 billion overnight on paper is not helping his emotional state. But if he convinces people to go out and lie, go out with that message, trying to convince wary investors to invest, and they start losing money, expect the lawsuits to happen. Expect the SEC to investigate. Expect the feds to come a-calling. And, Donald Trump, again, is probably not long for this world, given the stress levels he's at, his sedentary lifestyle, his poor diet, his underlying health issues that he has with his heart, and things along those lines. He probably isn't very long for this world. Eric and Don Jr., who are on that board, are much longer for this world. And if they get caught with insider trading, they can easily spend several years in federal prison for their crimes. For something that their dad's doing, because, he's committing, again, like Rudy Giuliani, committing a bunch of crimes at the end of his life. What's the consequences of it? He's an old man. What are you going to do? Throw him in prison? Rudy might go to prison. Trump won't. He'll get house arrest for whatever house he manages to maintain holding on to when it's all said and done. Yeah, apparently he did get his $175 million bond posted. Congratulations. We'll see what happens with the appeals court. There is some speculation that the reason why the bond got lowered to $175 million is that, and this is from Midas Touch, that if there was a misinterpretation of when Judge Engoron could include certain fines, it could exclude $285 million of the fines, and that's what Team Trump is arguing, and that would take that $430 million down to about $175 million. So there could be, it gets you within $5 million to $10 million of that value. So it could be that the appeals court might be lowering the fine that Judge Engoron levied on Donald Trump for the civil trial. We'll see how that pans out. But that might explain why they gave him a break on that. But he posted the bond, so at least New York is now going to have access to $175 million if he loses his appeals and ends up having to pay the judgment that's against him. If the judgment gets lowered. If it doesn't get lowered, he'll still lose the $175 million, but then New York has to go after the remaining amount of money. This video has gone on long enough. I'm going to end it here. Thank you very much for watching this video and supporting my channel. I appreciate it. Thank you very much for your likes, shares, comments, everything you do to feed the YouTube algorithm so my video makes it out to a wider audience. To folks discovering this channel recently or for the first time, welcome to the channel. I hope you found this reading insightful, and I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.